What's going on, guys? This is Jordan Miller. I'm the owner and founder of BreatheHeavy, and welcome to the latest live stream. Now, you may notice a microphone in front of me. If you watch my last live stream, you'll know that there were some technical difficulties. So I'm going to keep my eyes on the comments in the beginning of this video in the event that the microphone isn't working again. So if you're watching this, just shoot me a message right now real quick. Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me, and I'll continue this little party right now. So today I want to talk to you about a potential collaboration between Britney and Eminem, as well as this rumor that Britney wants to do this Oprah interview alongside a performance. So we have a lot to unpack. There's a lot to kind of dive into. But before we dive into the full video, let's play that intro. Woo! Okay, I checked the comments and it seems like y'all can hear me. So I'm just gonna make sure that this, hey, is this thing on? All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm going to share Exhale with you. It's the forum component / community component of BreatheHeavy. In case you don't know what BreatheHeavy is, it's a Britney Spears fan site that I started back in 2004 when I was 15. And over the years, it's evolved and now features pop music news as well as obviously a ton of Britney news. And another thing worth mentioning is if you haven't already, please make sure that you like this video. I know it's kind of a pain in the butt to like stop what you're doing and click the like button, but it really does me a huge solid. It promotes this video to new audiences and helps the subscriber count grow. And if you haven't subscribed already, please do that. That also really helps this channel. I'm at about 5,000, like 500 something subscribers. So I'm really looking to hit that 10K mark. So if I can kind of persuade you to do so, that'd be awesome. And of course, if you're watching this during this live stream, drop a comment, and I'm going to be bringing some of the comments on to share and chat with you. And if you're watching this after the fact, still leave a comment because I'm responding to 100% of the comments. Okay, now that we got the nitty gritty out of the way, let's dive into this first story. I'm going to pull up Exhale right now, and we're going to talk about this rumor of Britney and Eminem that popped up. And so here's what you're seeing. This was posted originally by Henry M. Torres. So thank you so much for that. And the rumor appeared on this very popular rumor website. So that I would take this report with a grain of salt because in theory, anyone can kind of reach out and submit a rumor to this place and they'll roll with it. But it actually has gained a lot of traction on other communities as well, besides just BreatheHeavy. And I don't know if it's because of Britney's recent post about Eminem, which I'll show you in a second. But this is the rumor. This is what originally where it started. It says an A+ list pop royalty who was originally slated to sing on Eminem's track Almost Famous has recorded a collab with him, dropping in the next couple months to coincide with a big announcement plus video. Now, the rumor is that it's Britney, and there was a few other names mentioned. There was like Ariana Grande and I think Katy Perry maybe mentioned. I don't actually see that happening, and for maybe it's because I want to believe that it could be Britney, but you know that's basically where we're at. So hard to say. This post that I posted on Facebook reached literally 2 million people. So I'm not saying that to brag. What I mean is that there's a lot of momentum behind this news. So in the event that it's not even true, there's still a lot of people that would be very interested in seeing this happen. And that kind of momentum doesn't even include where I posted this on Instagram, which had thousands of likes, and Twitter, which also had thousands of likes. So, and then not to mention on BreatheHeavy with hundreds of replies. So if you want to check this story out, I put all the links to the stories that I'm going to talk about today in the description of this video. So would love to have you join Exhale. It takes less than 30 seconds to register. It's completely free, and you'll be joining a really amazing community. So where there's smoke, there's fire. I think this is kind of how everything began. This is the post that Britney did a few weeks ago when the Super Bowl happened. And she wrote, "Wow, Eminem last night at the Super Bowl. He should have had way more time. He was everything to me when I was younger. And it was so weird in the first 2 seconds. I saw him on stage last night. Felt like I was 17 again." It's honestly kind of scary how certain artists and music can do that. We're so lucky to live in a world where music can give us hope, identity, acceptance, and love. I love. I'm curious to know what you think. Would you be down for this? Would you be down for a Britney / Eminem collabo? My initial thoughts are I'm super down. I mean, they're both legends, and I think that Eminem works with people that would create like a banger, and Britney could lay down her vocals, and it would just be like kind of like this little legendary track. And then the flip side is like Britney hasn't released a solo song in like a really long time. You know, she in the Glory era, she released "Make Me" with G-Eazy. She released "Slumber Party" with Tinashe. Like even before that, what was, I don't know, "Scream and Shout" with will.i.am, and I don't know, was Work B. I'm saying it like that because of the YouTube algorithm. Was that her last solo song? So that's like my first thought is like if she's gonna return to the scene, I feel like it's got to be someone meant Ryan Claudio mentioned "Pretty Girls." How could I forget about that classic? And I'm not even being I'm being a little shady, but I actually really do think that's a bop. And I actually, in hindsight, really love how Britney and Iggy teamed up together. So love that. I'm curious to know what you think. So drop a line in the comments. Are you down for this? A lot of the comments that I was reading on Instagram and Facebook, everyone was super into this idea. But like I mentioned, it would be nice to have Britney kind of return to the music scene solo. So I see both sides. I think it'd be cool if it was like not her like return single, but at the same time, I like this idea that she's recording music. She's not doing this like whole campaign of like the return, the comeback, you know. I think she personally doesn't like that. So it'd be kind of cool if she just like, here's a song, appreciate y'all, and it's with a legend, you know. So let me know what you think in the comments, and I can bring some of these up in a little bit. We got people already saying like I'd be down. Her and Eminem have worked together before on a track. I don't know. Maybe they did, and it just never, you know, it's still on the cutting room floor. We got Matt saying, I would have loved to have heard Britney on that Eminem song, Almost Famous. It would have been perfect for her. Agreed. Yeah, I'm down for this. All right, moving right along. Let me bring up the next story here. For 1 sec. Okay. So this next story is actually super interesting to me because, well, one, it's talking about Britney returning to performing. And there's a kind of a lot to unpack. So let me bring this next story up on the screen. Give me 1 moment. Okay, here we go. So this was posted by You Drive Chris Crazy on Exhale. Thank you so much. And he wrote, The Sun, who also reported before any other outlet in January about Britney's $15 million book deal, which is true, by the way. They posted this January 20th, I believe, that book deal thing. And then it didn't make the rounds in all the publications saying it was like quote unquote confirmed until a little bit more than a month later. So I think that The Sun, I don't personally think they're so reputable, but they called that right. So it leads me to believe that maybe there's some validity to this next report. So they say a new report claiming Britney is in the middle of negotiating a TV special similar to Adele's recent comeback special, One Night Only, which was structured as part interview, part performances with Oprah. And the Sun states Britney's inspired by that special and wants to kind of do one of her own. Now there's a figure rolling around of like upwards of $100 to $200 million for this. I personally I can't see that. I mean, Britney deserves to have $1 billion, honestly, but like, I just don't see that amount of money being generated for a special. That's like what a tour would generate with a bunch of shows. So I don't know. It could be just exaggerated, but maybe their report of Britney actually doing it, there's truth to it. Again, you can read all the comments and get the nitty gritty in the link in the description of this video. So my 2 cents are that I have a couple thoughts. One is that an interview situation for Britney, I mean, ultimately it's her decision, like her choice. If she decides to do that, cool, more power to her. I 100% support it. I just think that an interview scenario, especially one like with Oprah and like this big performance that this report is saying it's going to go and coincide with that interview, it's a very high pressure situation. That's why I'm a big fan of this book idea. It's like Britney can sit down and get her thoughts out and work with a writer to be able to formulate, you know, a story. And an interview just could go sideways, I feel like, so fast. And especially with someone with Oprah, who's just, you know, obviously a legend and is able to navigate an interview any way she wants to. And so I think, it kind of opens the door for there to be some uncomfortable situations for Britney. And she's talking about like her own life. It's easy for me to sit here with a camera on YouTube and be able to talk about things, but for Britney, it's her own life. And so, it's like I would hate for her to be in a situation where she's like reliving any sort of trauma or any of that. At the same time, I also don't think she's like this like wounded bird who can't like speak for herself and recall things from her past and not do it with feeling empowered and all that. So I definitely see both sides. I do think it's interesting that the Sun is reporting this because they were able to call out a couple things previously. So I'm curious to know like what do you think? Like I'm sure no one's gonna be like no, no Britney can't do a performance in an interview. We're not gonna support that. I guess the question is like, do you think it's the right time to do it? Just curious to know your thoughts. I think now that I've kind of talked this out with you, I would be interested to see what she would say in more of a live situation. I mean, it wouldn't be live, but a situation like that. You know what? Forget the interview. More importantly, the idea that this report claiming that she would be performing, that to me is super interesting. Like I'd almost prefer just a performance and not like the interview side of things. Would I prefer that actually? I don't know. I just would be curious, like, what would she perform? Imagine like a stripped down, almost like acoustic, like version of a few of her songs that everyone's, especially like, Toxic, or I don't know, maybe a couple like songs that she wanted to perform on her past tours where she said that, her management stopped her from doing that. I think it'd be interesting just for her to kind of perform like some stripped back versions of things. Or if she wanted to do a whole choreography thing with dancers and make it a big thing, like cool. But I think like the vibe would be really cool if she kind of like stripped things back and it was a little more chill. Just because of the nature of everything that's gone down. So not sure what you think. Someone's mentioned Unplugged Rebellion, Caleb Ellis. That would be super interesting. Just a side note, I always thought like if I was part of her marketing team, like and I had any sort of pull, I would try to persuade her to like re-record that and like drop it out of nowhere for fans. I just think that'd be super interesting. But yeah, I definitely would love an unplugged kind of anything. Mona Lisa would be also super interesting. Agreed. A piano incorporated to the set would be super dope. Love that. Yeah, really great suggestions in the comments. Appreciate you guys commenting while I'm chatting away with you. And the last thing I want to say about this performance piece is that, Britney's opened up recently about kind of the harrowing side of touring and performing, and it's stressful. And so she has mentioned like she's not going to be performing anytime soon. Now that things have kind of seemingly resolved with the conservatorship, I mean, there's still some loose ends. People are still need to be held accountable. There's all that going down with the court, but I think Britney's in a much better place. I mean, I know she's in a better place legally. So I'd be curious to know if she's had like a change of heart, if this is true. And she's like, you know what? I do want to perform. I think a lot of her Instagram videos where she's dancing in her house and all that, those are like to me are like little mini performances. Like it's almost like she hasn't stopped performing this entire time. She's like not performing, necessarily her own music, but she's dancing, and she even recorded like a riff recently where she's singing. So I feel like she has like some of these creative juices flowing, and she's interested to kind of like maybe step back into the spotlight. Not like she really left because of the Free Britney movement. But a lot to unpack. So let me know what you think. And we're going to move on to the next story. By the way, I hope you noticed the ticker down below. Please subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. I know I already said that, but I really would. Okay. Moving on. I actually wanted to talk about this story a few weeks ago, and it just slipped my mind because the last live stream is so lit. And, I actually have a bunch of stories to still cover for this live stream. So I'm going to kind of keep things moving. This story also performed super well on BreatheHeavy social media, like literally reaching millions, plural, of people. And it's a post that Britney's son did. And I do want to mention also that I proceed with caution talking about this because I respect Britney's privacy and her son's. But this is a very newsworthy story because of, I think, of the amount of eyes that have now seen this. And I don't think it puts her son in a bad light. In fact, I think it's kind of like a sobering moment for some fans who are kind of crossing a line. And I think it's important to kind of talk about this boundary because we need to respect these boundaries. So here's the story. This orange bar here is to make sure everyone complies with our community guidelines on BreatheHeavy. And this is the post that Sean, her eldest son, made a little while back. And it says, I have never had control of my mom's Instagram, nor told her to post anything or what to say. You guys are weird for thinking that. Stop asking. A lot of y'all have seen her on stage, but don't know who she really is. She's not changing. And the story got a lot of comments, and mostly people were just saying, like, who is reaching out to her son? You know, like who are these people that are reaching out? It does cross a line. I personally would never do that. I think there may have been instances in the past where, from what I gather, from what just my experience, Britney's sons may have been commenting on BreatheHeavy at one point and defending Britney. And that's one thing for them to kind of come and release their own statement, or to come to BreatheHeavy and maybe cryptically or not so secretly or secretly comment about their mom. And so much respect to them. And I think that fans who are crossing this line need to slow your roll. They're still young dudes, and you're also talking about like their mom, and like God knows what they have to kind of deal with. They're in high school. It's like a weird time. So just wanted to put that out there. Like, everyone be cool. And this is such a small percentage of the fan base, honestly. Like, I think 99% of people don't do anything weird like this, but I think it's worth mentioning for that 1% who may need a little direction. You can reach out to me instead. Don't reach out to them. All right. Last but not least, in terms of the Britney world, but you're not going to want to leave this live stream because we got some other really lit stories on the way coming up. Britney, I think, is in Hawaii again. I'm not really sure, but it's Sam Asghari's birthday, and he shared a really interesting video of the two of them. So I'm going to pull that up and play it for you. Britney gave a couple shout outs to Sam on her Instagram, and then he posted a very steamy video of the two of them together. And so give this just a quick sec. All right. So in this video, she's like showing off her ring. He kisses her hand. He drinks a cup of coffee, a little sip. I'm not sure if it'll play here. Let me see. Okay. Okay. So I thought that video was so, like, out of all the videos, like, that, I just thought it was so strange that he coughed. Like, and that was what was posted. Like, I don't know. Is that kind of embarrassing for him? I don't know. Maybe I'm just reading into it, but it's a cute video, but he's just like coughing and she just like laughs at him. I thought that was like endearing and like funny. This is the video I wanted to show you though. Check this out. Get it? All right. I wish I played that on mute. I hope this doesn't get the YouTube. Okay, just a side note, I've had several of my videos get flagged for copyright because of like brief little bits of audio. So if that part gets muted, those who are watching in the future, hi, I hope everything's okay. If that part gets muted, that's why, because I had to mute it. So I found that to be super interesting. And what I like about that is that there's still heat 5 years later, 6 years later, however long they've been together. So a lot of respect for that. Happy birthday to Sam. I feel like a grandpa compared to him because I think he's like 20, I don't even know, 26, 27. I'm gonna be 34. Okay. All right, moving along. Another story that did so well on BreatheHeavy, also reached millions of people, is Amanda Bynes filing to terminate her conservatorship. And obviously, you know why this story did well, because of the whole conservatorship saga with Britney, of course. And so it's just a brief little touching point in terms of like what this news item is. That's the news. And so there was people who supported. There was like, I saw a handful of people being like, this is not good. To me, I think that when I look at this story, I mean, I'm not as obviously as familiar with Amanda Bynes' situation as I was with Britney's. But it appeared to me that Amanda Bynes' parents actually don't want to say something that I don't actually know. I'll say my past self thought that maybe her parents seemed to be more supportive of Amanda Bynes, and I think that there was some turmoil, and I know that there was like some conflict between her parents and Amanda Bynes. I'm not sure if her parents are against this or they want to keep her in a conservatorship. It's unclear to me. But nonetheless, I do think that the tool. First of all, Amanda Bynes has been in a conservatorship for nearly a decade, and she's filing, seemingly with her own representation, to dissolve this conservatorship. So I think if she's decided like she's in a better place to do that, a conservatorship is just so restrictive. And I should know. I wish I knew more about her situation and the saga going on with Wendy Williams, Bam Margera. I had someone sign up for BreatheHeavy recently to kind of like get more information about Bam Margera from like Jackass, and I guess he's in a conservatorship as well. And it's just a weird tool. Not a fan. I live in Vegas, and apparently there's a lot of conservatorship corruption here in Vegas as well. Seen some documentaries on that. So make of that what you will. I'm not sure if we have any Amanda Bynes fans in the audience. Let's see. I'm gonna check out some of the comments here real quick. Oh, this is my mom, everybody. Hi, mom. How cute. Okay. Yep. Subscribe to Breathe Heavy. Let's reach 10K. Someone thought the way that Sam laughed was kind of fake. I'm not really sure. I'm not sure what's with the Sam hate. I'll just touch on this real quick. I get a lot of comments or a lot of questions about Sam Asghari, especially in interviews, asking me like what I think, what are his motives and all that. My 2 cents is like, yeah, okay, he benefits career-wise from dating Britney, but I think that it's been years. He's been by her side this entire time. There's only a handful of people in her life. I don't think it's right to cast this weird shitty light. Oh, sorry, YouTube. This weird bad light on him. I think Britney loves him, and he clearly supports her, and he supported her freedom to get out of the conservatorship. So we don't know the ins and outs of everything. So I think like let's just be a little like kinder to him, and if something arises where there's something that's precarious, then we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. But in the meantime, let's I think show him some respect. All right. Moving right along, taking this plane home. I want to talk about Avril Lavigne's new album, LoveSux. I don't think love sucks. I love love, but this album is full of absolute bangers. And literally the first time I heard it all the way through, I was like, love this album. I wasn't a huge fan of her previous album. Oh my gosh, the name's escaping me. Oh my gosh, I can't remember. That's not good on a live stream, but I love LoveSux. I think it's just like banger after banger. Obviously, they intentionally went in it to make it reminiscent of maybe like her early 2000s vibe. I think people were like, it sounds like her old stuff. All the songs sound the same. I'm like, yeah, they kind of went into it creating that because when she released her last album, I'm looking this up really quick. I think it's Tell Me You Love Me. No, hold on. I'm going to look. But I think when she created her last album, it was like it was a lot slower. She, Head Above Water. Oh my gosh. Okay. Yeah, that album was okay. The LoveSux is far better in my opinion. So I'm curious to know what you think. The point of this story is that it's earned the biggest streaming debut for an album by a female artist on Spotify this year. I know that's a pretty specific award, but at the same time, and I know it's it's March basically, and the year still has 10 more months. But nonetheless, I think that's an awesome accomplishment. I love this album. My favorites are Kiss Me Till. I should probably know my stuff before I jump on a live stream. Kiss Me Till the World's Over and Avalanche. Let me look really quick. Kiss Me Like the World Is Ending. Oh my gosh. That's my favorite song. The chorus, the hook, Avalanche or Avalanche, as she says, also great. So let me know what you think in the comments of Avril Lavigne's new album. Are you a fan? Do you not like it? Let me know what you think. All right, we got a Madonna story for you next. she's apparently doing a remix album of some of her past iconic hits. She already filmed a music video for it, so I'm going to show you a little glimpse of that. She's doing it for a remix of Frozen, which I think is actually genius because that song's been making the rounds on social media, namely TikTok and Instagram. So here she is on the shoot of the video. Obviously, like, I don't know what's going on. I'm not trying to judge her body or her face. So I guess actually that's what I was about to do. So I'm just gonna like keep things rolling. It just is like, I don't know. I don't know what's going on with that. But interestingly, there's rumors that she's also incorporating Miley Cyrus, Dua Lipa, Katy Perry, Doja Cat, and more on this remix album. Madonna obviously has enough star power to kind of pull that off. So curious to know like what songs of Madonna's like from her past would you like for her to remix? And are you interested in this remix album, or do you feel like it's going to be, dead on arrival? I'm looking forward to it. I think like Madonna always tries to keep it fresh. She's always trying to push the envelope. Sometimes she might push it a little too far. Also, another story that was on Breathe Heavy today, she remixed one of her songs to basically footage of like the war in Ukraine and basically protesting Russia. And that kind of got a lot of attention as well. But she's always been that way. She's always been outspoken. So I'm not quite sure what all the fuss was about. All right. Well, last but not least, Pepsi is dropping out of the Super Bowl halftime show. They're no longer sponsoring it. And I wrote about this today, and I jokingly, but like not jokingly, was kind of pushing this Taylor Swift narrative on everybody because Taylor Swift, I don't know if she still has a deal with Coke or Diet Coke, but there was like no chance for her to perform at the Super Bowl because of that sponsorship, I think. And so now that kind of leaves the door open. I would love to see her perform. She'd absolutely smash it. So I don't know. Who would you like to perform at next year's Super Bowl? I know a bunch of you are going to say Britney. So include Britney's name, but also in addition to Britney, who do you think would be a cool performer? I think Christina Aguilera would be also really awesome. And maybe Pink. I love my pop titans. So not sure what you think of all those stories. I'm going to quickly take another peek at these comments here flooding in. Greatly appreciate all of the love. This is my friend Bill. What's up, Bill? Appreciate you watching. There was a rumor also, that Madonna wanted to tour with Britney. I actually talked about that on a different live stream, so you can check that out. So you guys got a lot of homework. I'm just going to quickly recap. Make sure you like this video, subscribe, leave a comment, join Breathe Heavy. Check out my last live stream, the one that I'm talking about Madonna and Britney potentially touring. All right, so you got a lot of Jordan/Breathe Heavy content, okay? All right. Someone's talking about Avril Lavigne, Lee Irby. Where has Avril been this whole time? When was her last album released? Yeah, she did release an album not too long ago. It just didn't kind of get enough attention, I think. So, I don't know. It had a couple good songs on there, but I agree. I think that it was like a little forgettable. That's not very nice to say because she poured her heart out into it after her kind of like very scary health issue. But I think she definitely returned to form with this album. I believe she signed with Travis Barker's label. Actually interviewed Travis Barker once. He was super awesome. And so, yeah, I was super stoked to have this new album in my hands. I've been playing it nonstop. Oh, yeah. Head Above Water. Appreciate that. You only know Let Go. Let Go is an amazing album. I love the album title track. Britney just broke the internet again. Did she just post something while I was doing a live stream? Or are we talking about that video of her and Sam? Ben has taste. He's saying Avalanche is one of his favorite tracks. Agreed. And I'm going to take a look at one or two more comments here. Britney Madonna remix, please. That would actually, I didn't even think of that. Of course, Britney, that would be awesome for her to be on this remix album. So we're going to have an Eminem collab potentially, and then Britney on a remix track with Madonna. Honestly, I would love for Britney to collaborate with Travis Barker again. They work together on Don't Keep Me Waiting. It's one of my all-time favorite Britney songs. Like, I love when a pop star slips into like this rock star mode, and they always kill it. Like Avril Lavigne just did it. Rihanna's done it. Britney's done it. Gaga does it all the time. Anyway, last but not least, this comment, show me some love. I really appreciate it. I love these live streams. I always am trying to up my game, so I appreciate everyone watching, supporting the channel. It means everything to me. Looking forward to doing more of these as time rolls on. So with that said, I just want to thank you guys so much for all the love and support. It means everything. I'm going to do another live stream in the near future, so make sure you subscribe and turn the notification bell on so you know when that's going down. With that said, I love ya, and I'll see you in the next video.